Welcome back to our channel. My name is Dr. David. You know, I was having this conversation with one of my friends yesterday, and he was asking me, he's like, David, how in the world do I improve my ability to balance on one leg? How do I improve my balance? I keep trying to stand on one leg over and over and over and over, and it doesn't improve. What do I do? My friend Jim loves to cook, and so I responded to him. Tell me something, Jim. If you make the same dish every single night, and it's the same ingredients, and every single time you make it, it doesn't taste good, would you keep putting in those same ingredients? And he said, David, of course not. Why would I make the same bad dish over and over and over again? Oh, wait a second. Guys, if you continue to try to improve your balance by standing on one leg over and over and over again, and it's not improving, that, my friends, is the definition of insanity. And so in this video, we are going to show you 10 really awesome practical tips that will actually help you improve your ability to stand on one leg. Stay tuned. Guys, the ability to stand on one leg is so important. It's one of the first things that I look at with every single new person that walks in the clinic. It tells me so much about your stability. Whenever you're going up and down the stairs, whenever you're walking, you're always on, think about it, you're always on one leg. You're never walking on two legs because then you'd be standing. So before we get into how exactly to fix your ability to balance on one leg, we have to first break it down and see, what does it even mean to balance on one leg? What elements of the body are required to fix that? Your balance is made up of 5 crucial elements. The first of these elements is your vision. Anyone who has bad vision is going to have a much more difficult time balancing. And so how do we know that? So I want everyone at home to stand on one leg with their eyes open, and then close your eyes and see what happens. And what will happen is you'll notice that it's much more difficult to balance with your eyes closed. Number 2 is what's called the vestibular system. And those are those crystals that go in between the ears that regulate your balance. So anyone with vertigo or any of those conditions that cause dizziness are going to have a much more difficult time balancing. The third important element is what's called your somatosensory system, which in English means your body's ability to sense the foot to the floor and the input that the body receives from the floor that gets transmitted. Anyone who has diabetes and has some neuropathy or some numbness or tingling in the foot and they have reduced sensation is going to have a tougher time balancing. So guys, those are the 3 elements that all doctors, all neurologists, all physical therapists typically talk about. The problem with only mentioning those 3 things when it comes to balance is that you're leaving out all the areas of balance and stability that we can actually control. And so there are 2 more, in my opinion, very important elements of balance that we are going to discuss now. Guys, the 4th important element of balance is your stability system. It's your core strength, it's your hip strength, it's your ankle strength. The more we work on those areas, the better your balance is going to get. The 5th area that's so important when it comes to balance, and that's so workable as well, is your ability to shift from leg to leg. Whenever we're walking, whenever we're going up and down the stairs, we're always shifting our weight from one leg to the other leg. So a lot of times people who have poor balance don't understand how to shift their weight from leg to leg. They'll lift up one leg, but they don't shift their weight onto the standing leg. And so exercises to address the ability to improve your weight shifting and your stability system are some of the best ways to work on balance, and that's what we're going to get into right now. The first exercise we're going to do is to improve your weight shifting. And so you're going to get into the bridge position, you're going to bridge up, and you're going to extend one leg, come back, then extend the other leg. And we're going to go back and forth about 20 times with this. And the reason is because every time you're actually going from one leg to the next, you're shifting your weight from side to side. So this exercise is a great way to improve your ability to shift your weight in an easy position, starting on your back. Then we're going to progress it to many other positions, which is going to help your balance out dramatically. You'll notice that I've moved on to my hands and knees, and that is because the next exercise we're going to do, which is typically called the bird dog and is usually done for core strengthening, we're going to actually use as a weight shifting exercise. And so I'm going to bring my arm out and my leg back, and I'm going to hold that for about 10 to 15 seconds. So you'll see that I'm having to shift my weight onto the right leg and left arm. And then I'm going to bring it back, and then I'm going to do the same for the other side. Make sure you're bracing your core here. You're not wobbling all over the place. And as a matter of fact, people who wobble all over the place as they're maintaining their balance here typically are the ones who struggle with balance. 10 to 15 seconds on each side. Once you get good at that, I would even go from 10 to 15 to 30 to 60 seconds as a great way to almost work on your balance in this position. I love this next strategy to improve your balance. You're going to come into this half kneel position. And just with one foot like this and the knee pointed down towards the floor, now you can certainly use a cushion or a pillow if there's pain in the knee with this. And then you're going to bring the heel right to your knee. And when you're in that position, see if you're able to balance like this. This is basically like standing on one leg, just you're cutting out the feet on the one of the sides. And so bring your hands like this, tighten your core, bring your belly button in towards your spine, squeeze the left glute, because that's the one with the knee down, and see how long you can maintain this position. And then do it on both sides and see if there's a difference. This is a great way to work on balance where you're not just standing on one leg over and over and over again, but you're changing the positioning around, which actually modifies the neural activity in the brain to help you improve your balance. Try this on each leg and see if there's a difference on each side, and make sure you're engaging your stability muscles. So you're not only working on the weight shifting, but you're also working on the stability. Once you guys get really good at the last exercise, we're going to move into more standing and functional positions. And so this is called the tandem stance. This is a more famous or common balance exercise. And what you're going to do is you're going to bring one knee right in front of the heel. And this is much easier than standing on one leg. But what we're going to do is not just put one foot in front of the other, but we're actually going to weight shift back and forth with it. And so I want you to focus on shifting your weight into the front leg and then shifting it to the back leg. Front leg, back leg. Engage your core stabilizers, feel your hips in space, and go backwards and forwards. And we're going to do this on each leg, so don't just stand in that same position, because then you can just be hanging on your ligaments. You're not engaging your core stabilizers. But instead, rock back and forth and start shifting your weight from foot to foot. This is going to be easier than balancing on one leg, but it's a great way to prepare and to start to improve the ability to balance on one leg. One of the most common questions I get in the clinic is, David, when I start working on balance, should I do it with my shoes on, my shoes off, with socks, bare feet? And the answer is, it just depends. If you're using shoes, you're going to have some stability from the shoes, so it's going to be a lot easier. If you want to challenge yourself more, do it in socks, because then the only thing that you have to stabilize is your muscles. And so for the next exercise, we're going to actually get a pillow, put it on the floor, and we're going to step up onto the pillow. And what we're going to do is put your feet together. And the reason we're using the pillow is because it makes it a lot more unstable. And so it forces your stabilizers to work harder, which will therefore improve your balance. And so we're not just going to stand on the pillow, but we're going to weight shift. So we're going to go up onto your toes, weight shift to your toes, weight shift to your heels, move your whole body forward. Your center of gravity shifts forward and back. And about 20 to 30 times on each side, going forward and going back. And then when you feel pretty comfortable with that, then we're going to start going side to side. So now we're starting to weight shift side to side. And when you stand on one leg, remember you're weight shifting onto that standing leg in order to elevate the other one. And again, about 20 to 30 times on each side. Once everyone has become experts in weight shifting and turning on your core and hip stability muscles, now we're going to take it to the next level. And so you see a couple of different size boxes here. We're going to use these boxes to alternate step tap as a regression before we go to the full-blown single leg stance. And the form is really important with this. And so what we're going to do is, when you tap the box, make sure you don't put any pressure on it. Tap and come back. You're shifting your weight onto the right leg, bringing the left up, tapping and coming back. Shifting your weight onto the left leg, bringing the right leg and down. So make sure you're not just doing tapping back and forth, but you're focusing on the weight shift and the core stability, because that's ultimately what's going to really help you when it comes to doing a full-blown single leg stance. to progress that, we're going to go to the left here, and you see I have a little bit of a taller box. So at home you can use any kind of a step stool, box, tissue box, cookie box, whatever it is, but with different heights. And so this is about 4 or 5 inches taller, so it makes it a lot more difficult. So shifting my weight to the left leg, bringing the right foot up, tapping, not crushing, coming back down, and then shifting my hips to the right, bringing my left up, bracing my core, tapping, and coming back down. Once you guys master that, here's a nice progression where I have a chair, which is much, much higher up. And so same principles apply. You're shifting your weight to the right side, bringing the left all the way up, a little tap, then come into the left, brace your core, and tap, and back and forth. You can even put some speed into it. Make sure you're just getting a good weight shift going. Time has come, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to try to stand on one leg. Now, the only thing I'm doing is putting a band around my feet because that's going to start improving and forcing the stability patterns. So I'm going to bring this knee all the way up, and this is the correct way to stand on one leg. I'm going to squeeze my left glute because that's my stability. I have already shifted my weight and I'm holding it for about 10, 15, 30, 45. Keep progressing the amount of time. Then I'm going to the other side, shifting my weight to the right, bringing my left up. The band is helping force that core and hip stability pattern. And I'm breathing normally, squeezing that right glute, bracing my core. Same idea, just keep increasing the amount of time. And then back to the other side. And then once I feel great about this, I can just kick right off the band. And now I should have no problem at all just standing on one leg, engaging my glutes, engaging my core. And that, my friends, is how to improve your balance the right way. Congratulations, guys. I hope you can all stand on one leg now. Let me know in the comments down below how long you could stand on each leg for and if you're having any issues engaging your core and your glutes. If you guys enjoy videos like this, we're posting every Sunday and Wednesday. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and that way they're going to notify you when new videos are posted. Have an awesome day. See you next time.